So, how do you handle like a guy who doesn't communicate well?
My experience is I like to communicate what I don't like that you're doing, and I'm not doing it to be like malicious or mean. I'm just basically saying I want to teach someone how to treat me. And so treating me, if there's something that you do that I don't really like, I'm not understanding the tone in your text. When you say, I'm going to ask you about, well, what do you mean? You know, why did you say it in this manner? I'm trying to understand why you text the way what you said.
So do you think that, like, depending on the person, maybe, if they've received what you're communicating wrong, is that something that would you normally like just pick up a phone and then maybe like clarify?
I would like to, but you know, it depends on the person. Because I definitely want to pick up the phone to understand why you are thinking or why you text the way you text. You know, maybe I could be overthinking it or thinking it too hard. But at the same time, you may be dealing with someone that has some like trauma or pain. So if you mention something, they get immediately offensive based on you giving them saying, hey, you know, don't talk to me in that manner, or sharing, you know, what it is that you don't like. It may trigger something from a previous relationship.
So then would that be somebody then that you would be interested in continuing to pursue though?
Probably not. I would say no. I mean, if you worked on it, actively worked on it, then I would maybe be a little bit more open to you wanting to, for me to be able to see that you can possibly change this. But if it's something like short term for you and it's not as important as it is to me that it is to you, then you're not going to be consistent at it. So then what would be the point in me saying it? Like if I seen that you're actively trying, and I'm not saying maybe after 1 week, but you're like, oh, you know, I'm sorry, Jess. You know, I said I wasn't going to say that word, but I did. You know, I'm like, you know, it's okay. You know what? You acknowledged it and we can move forward. But if you constantly try to make an effort, I wouldn't mind.
So that kind of like goes into like, okay, so are you more of a person, a woman who appreciates or likes communication through action more?
Totally.
Verbal more, or a combination?
Well, I'm an actions person, you know, and that's something my dad has always said, action speaks louder than words. So when it comes to actions, I need you to actively show me. I mean, even with myself, there may be something that you'd like for me to change about it, and it's in the back of my mind. And so because it's in the back of my mind, I'm gonna be like, oh, you know what? I realized that he said this. Let me just try to work on it. Because we all want to be a better person. I don't know about y'all, but I want to be a better person. So if there's something that I can work on to be better at, I'm going to try that, you know? And that's just me. What about for you, though?
I mean, for me, like, I'm a combination person. Like, I don't mind you verbally communicating what you want to do and all that. However, I would appreciate follow-up, you know what I'm saying, and follow through with actions and not just the words. So you obviously are going to be able to tell if somebody's just speaking on it and not being about it, you know what I'm saying? So if you're going to speak about it, be about it type situation. And I appreciate that more. But I also don't want to dismiss, like, if you are trying to put forth effort and so you're communicating that at first, okay, yeah, I'm going to give you that opportunity. And then I'm going to see what you're going to do as far as how your actions are going to be a reflection of that type situation. You know what I'm saying?
Would that make you want to at least try? If he starts showing you some actions like for 1 week, 2 week, or a month, would you continue to stick it out? Or you're like, you haven't made no improvements at all?
Well, so it goes back to, again, so communication, right, plays a role in all this. And again, I'm just an open book. I'm a very straightforward person. And I feel like after some time, like if I'm starting to get certain feelings, I'm just going to, you know what I'm saying, speak about it. You know, just speak on it. Like,
sometimes that can be too much too soon. And that's one thing I do not like in dating is like you can't express, you know, how you feel about someone. It's almost like you got to hold things in for however long until it's the right time, until it's 6 months, until it's 8 months. Until there's this timeline that society has allowed us to think that when it's appropriate to share how we feel. Like, listen, if you want to get to know me or anyone, you're going to know, like, up front how I feel about you, good, bad, or indifferent. That's just how I roll, and that hasn't been in my favor sometimes in dating.
But those are things, though, that you communicate, though, up front, right? Like,
you know it.
In the sense of, hey, this is how I am, this is what I expect or what I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like when we're up front, it kind of leaves a little room for gray area, because I'm a very black and white type person. It's either this or this.
Of course,
if
especially
I can
knowing
avoid
your
gray,
role. Yeah.
if I can avoid gray by all costs, I will. But I know that there are going to be moments where there's going to be gray
areas.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And so, in picking up on that, but so guys, right? Like when it comes to them and how they tell you how they like you or how they feel about you, what do you think is a way that you receive it better? Like makes kind of like lets you know that, hey, you know what,
that they're into me,
right? That they're into you, they're feeling you.
I mean, it could be a variety of different things. I like consistency for the most part. So
no, I'm talking about like, so them communicate, like what would you want, how would you want them to communicate in the sense of how they feel about you? Like
with your words, use your words to communicate how you feel. But not only that, if you're going to use your words, use your actions to just bring it all together. So I need a combination of words and actions.
Right.
But I just definitely feel in my gut, if you like someone the way that you like them, then it shouldn't be an extra task for you to send a text message. It shouldn't be an extra task, for you to do certain things to make me feel special.
Have you ever talked to a guy that only texted and never picked up the phone and called you?
Yeah, and that's the worst to me, because it's
What
like,
happened?
do you have a whole family, or like what?
Right, like, are you hiding something?
Like,
like,
what is it? Why can't you only text?
Right, do you say that? Like, what do you say?
Well, no, you start to see patterns after a while. So then at first it's okay, because we're working people, we have families, and so texting is so convenient, and that's one way that I do like a text message. However, when it's only text message, you can't pick up the phone and hear my voice.
I know, it's suspicious, right?
Yeah, and or if you only call at specific times of the day, like are you only calling on your lunch hour, and then when it hits 7, 8 o'clock at night,
right,
you not picking up the phone and calling me, suspect. Okay, what is really going on?
But now, actually, that coincides with getting closer to inappropriate communication, like more so like inappropriate time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to communicate with me like when it's late and booty call time.
Negative.
Like, exactly. Dismissed real quickly.
I know. So, but how does that, when you think about that though, do you address that when you start noticing those patterns? Me too.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, so
and
I
then
noticed
they start stuttering.
I
noticed
that you don't ever pick up the phone. Like, why?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you ever call me?
Before we wrap it up though, when you are talking or dating with someone, just be upfront of what it is that you are looking for, your communication. Now you got to be able to communicate that with someone, so that way they know and they have an understanding of how you are, a little bit about your schedule. And so if you're really serious about someone, then just lay it out on the line. What do you have to lose? We're mature, so why not communicate exactly what you want, how you are, and just really taking time to really understand the other person that you are trying to mate with.
And not only that, keep in mind, closed mouths don't get fed, and so the worst anybody's ever going to tell you is no. But
and sometimes that stings and that hurts.
Right,
but I'd rather hear the honesty.
Right, but if you've allowed yourself to miss that opportunity because you failed to not communicate or ask or whatever the case may be, then you can't blame anybody but yourself, and so keep that in mind. Don't be the cause of situations. Definitely try and be the person who always wants to seek a resolution. Till next time.
Dating Diaries. Thank you. Jess, I'm the best, and this is Dating Diaries when you're mature.